Hey guys, how is it going? So in the last video we shuffled a little bit that shelf. We looked at the parts, what we have, what we need. So now we're back on the body and we're gonna start preparing it for landing it on the frame. So the general plan is, I know I probably mentioned it before, but I'm gonna say it again. So generally the plan is now we clean up the engine bay and the interior of the car. By clean up I mean fix some areas that have been welded and not ground well. We're gonna even do some body work with body filler and stuff to make it nice and smooth, because we want the engine bay to be beautiful. And once the engine bay is done, we can clean up the interior, the boot, the wheel wells, even the bottom of the car. Then we can prime everything, then we can seam seal everything, and then undercoat the bottom of the car and the wheel wells. And then we're gonna do even the base color, engine bay, the interior, the boot, and wherever we think. And then we're gonna assemble the suspension, we're gonna assemble the engine, we're gonna put everything together. We're gonna put the body on the frame permanently. We're gonna install all the fenders, which are gonna be painted also inside. We're gonna be cleaned and primed and painted inside. Then we're gonna mount everything on the car. We're gonna install the doors, the bonnet, the trunk lid, basically everything that needs to be painted. And it's gonna go to a different shop, to a paint shop. That's what we decided, that a professional paint shop is gonna do the paint on this car, because I can do my personal cars, but I can't do this one, because this one is it's gonna be for sale eventually at the end. So that's the idea. Like I said, I'm gonna start with the engine bay, and I want to clean stuff like that. You see those seams there, I don't want them to be visible, so we're gonna grind them as much as we can. And then if we have to, we're gonna use body filler to smoothen them. Here too, the valance inside, all the welds that we did, everything needs to be nice and clean. Hoping that I'm not gonna find any more rusty spots anywhere. I have to work here too. I noticed that here I'm missing the fastening point, so we're gonna have to mark where the hole is gonna be, then put the indent like here. On the other side as well, I don't know what's going on with these holes. Here I started making the holes, but I didn't finish them, so we have to do this. Also, I just realized that I cut off the bracket for the relays over there, so I'm gonna have to weld another bracket. So here's more welding. And something else, here we have this finisher piece. I have to make 3 tabs that are holding it down, and now that we have it, I can put the tabs on, except something is not right here, and that makes me really upset, because I repaired this area, and when I was repairing it, I basically put it to where it was before. It was very rusted, but this piece here was in a good shape, and I thought that was the truth, but actually it looks like it isn't, because my finisher now doesn't line up. See, here it is further in, it's all the way in, and here we're sticking out even, but here, look, we have 1/2 inch gap, and here we have, this is overlapping a lot. Looked into our 73 TR6, let me show you. Just wanted to see how it fits there, the same piece, and it actually, it's pretty dirty, but it fits pretty well. And that's the same finisher, it's from Moss Motors, so it should be the same. I'm afraid that I'm gonna have to do some repairs here again. Not really sure what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna look into it. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take the front grille and I'm gonna put it to see how the grille fits, and then we're gonna go from there. Actually, the grill fits pretty well. So look, the distance is pretty even here, nice and even. And I'm not forcing it in. It is just, you see, there's no even fasteners. So here it is like there's no gap at all. But I think it is pretty good. If we have this bent, then I'm gonna have to force these ends in. All right, so I have to think about it. So we're gonna get back to that later. I'm just gonna have to wrap my head around it. So for now, we're just gonna start dealing with the rest. So it's gonna be more like before and after video, guys. I'm gonna give you updates every once in a while because I don't think it's gonna be interesting for you to watch me grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding. So I'm gonna give you some before and after. This sticker is available. You can buy it. Not gonna try and save it because it's not in a good shape. The thing is, the aftermarket ones are flat, and when you put them here, they get wrinkled, they say, but we will see. Maybe with a heat gun or something we can make it flat. So I'm not gonna be worried about this sticker. And anything else interesting, I'm gonna let you know. All right, so all these are done. So two here, one or two there, I don't remember what I did. Two there, and I finished these two that were not finished. So all this is done now, and I got rid of some hardware that was left over. Like there was a nut here, there was also the two, what should we call them, two tags over there that were riveted. Removed those, and I don't know what else. And yeah, so now let's get dirty. So I'm thinking of starting with this really small but really effective wire wheel, or whatever we should call it, because it's steel, it's not brass, and it's like really effective actually. And I'm gonna try to go in the corners and everywhere I can, and we will see. And then we're gonna leave the big areas for later. All right, a few hours later, I just came back from lunch break, but this corner is nicely cleaned up. Actually, it turns out there was a lot of undercoating. The whole wall there, where I wasn't welding, was covered with undercoat, which I didn't know. Like here, for example, you can still see some residue of undercoating, which I still have to clean up. So it was the same over there. So we're gonna go around, clean everything first with thinner, and then we're gonna keep going with the wire brush. This one, electric one. So yeah, more work than expected, as always. So I brought you in with me, guys, because I wanted to show you closely what I've done so far. So I abandoned the wire wheeling for a while because it turns out I had to do mostly wiping, not wire wheeling. So I did all the wiping, wiped all the undercoating. Well, not really, there's a little bit more there, but most of it I wiped it out. This is paint, this is not undercoating, so this needs to be wire wheeled. But yeah, mostly everything was wiped, and wherever I felt that it needed grinding, I ground it. So I ground here, I ground there, I ground in this corner here. So I think we are done pretty much with wiping and grinding. These corners here we've done in here. So it is nice and clean now, and I think now, because it's almost the end of the day, I have another half an hour here. So what I'm gonna do for that last half an hour, I don't know, wire wheeling or sanding with mechanically with sandpaper, but I have to scuff the paint and I have to smoothen it, because in some areas, you see in the very beginning, I asked some colleagues to clean the car from the undercoating, and they did from underneath, and they did also the engine bay a little bit, but they used chisels and stuff, so now everything is scratched. So I'm gonna have to go mechanically with sandpaper, and I need to scuff the paint anyways, because I decided I'm not stripping everything. It would be crazy if I strip everything. I'm just gonna scuff it, and I'm gonna paint it, and wherever it's scratched like this, I'm gonna have to go maybe down to bare metal, but it needs to be nice and smooth, because that's gonna show through the primer and the paint. So anyways, it's nice and clean now. Wherever it needed to be ground, it was ground. There in the corner. This I'm not gonna worry too much about, because this is it's not gonna be seen. Even this is not gonna be seen, but I'm gonna smoothen it, because it's not in a very hard position. There. This is gonna be seen, I guess, and this is gonna be seen. So, this I want to grind. This is factory, but they didn't do a good job, so I'm gonna grind this. I already did on this side, and yeah. Oh, here I have a lot. I didn't have light here, so I have to clean more here, and yeah, and I'm gonna start scuffing. And tomorrow we're gonna have to do some welding. Like I said, here we're gonna have to weld the bracket for the relays. And what else? I noticed somewhere it needed welding. Oh yeah, here there's a little crack which I wanna weld, and on the other side as well, the spot weld is done. Somebody lifted, maybe that's me, lifted the car with the hooks here. And yeah, and then we're gonna break out the body filler, but that's gonna be tomorrow. Anyways, for you it's gonna be the same video, I think, so just stay here and the time is gonna fly for you. All right, that's better. I also cleaned here a little bit, if you wonder about the smell. My God, this paint thinner smells like whoosh. Don't you feel it? No? Well, soon. You're laughing, but I'm pretty sure that soon there's gonna be a video with a smell. Pretty soon. If I told you 5 years ago that soon you're gonna be talking to your appliances, would you believe me? No. But now there's nothing more natural than saying, Alexa, turn on the radio.
This is Sculla and Colossini Brothers from Spotify.
Oops. Alexa, I wasn't talking to you.
Oops. I thought I heard my name.
Alexa, stop. Technologies, right? All right, it's still today. Decided to come back one more time. So this wheel well is pretty much done. I mean, I sanded it with sandpaper. I think that's 80, oh, 120 actually. But here I noticed that there's so many wrinkles, like this is from the factory, and I'm debating here whether I want to live with this or not. The other side is perfect, smooth, nice and smooth, but this side, So you know what, I'm gonna try to do something with hammer and dolly, because I don't like it. Now it's still wrinkly, but it's much better than before. So now we can do a little bit of body filler and it's gonna be perfect. Okay, that's it. Now I'm gonna see you tomorrow. All right, it is tomorrow this time, I promise you. And you can tell because the whole entire engine bay now has been sanded. So I spent quite a few hours actually today here already, and only with sandpaper, because turns out wire wheel can't access as I expected in more areas. So I done mostly sandpaper and my hand as sanding block. So I went through everything, sanded as far as I could. I mean, I just scuffed the paint in some areas, like there, for example, there's nothing wrong with the paint, so I just scuffed it. In some other areas, there were actually quite a few runs It's hard to believe that this is factory paint. I even thought at some point that maybe it's been repainted, but I wouldn't believe that somebody would, 30 years ago when this car wasn't considered classic, I wouldn't believe that somebody would take the engine out and actually repaint the whole engine bay. And also I see this red color here, and there's nothing under the red color, so I'm assuming that the red color is primer and the brown is the first paint of this car. And also here, you remember there was a sticker, under the sticker there was brown paint, so it is the original paint. But believe me, there were lots of runs all over the place. Like there you can still see a little bit of a sign. There were runs here, there were runs I don't know where, there were runs here, a lot of runs, so it was not really good paint job from the factory. But anyway, so it is sanded everywhere, including the inner of the valve. So next I think I'm gonna wipe it now. I'm gonna blow it and wipe it, and I'm gonna do some rust converter in some areas, because over there's surface rust that I want to get rid of, some here, so we'll see where I need. I'm gonna put some rust converter, and then I'm gonna do the welding. So there are a few holes there that I want to plug. There were rivets there holding the snap buttons for the carpet inside, but I don't want those, so I'm gonna plug these holes, and there are two more there. There's two over there at the side which are not factory. I don't know what they were for, so we're gonna plug those. This stud turns out to be snapped, and this is a stud that we need for, there's a brace holding the front valance here normally, and then we're gonna see what we're gonna do next. Right, so I made this bracket that goes right here. When I checked on the 73 TR6, it comes something like that. It holds the relay something like that, so it is away from this hole here for the fastener for the fender. That's how we're gonna mount it. I can do it one-handed here, but it is something like that. The bracket is mounted, and this is how the relay comes. So just a little bit off of this hole, but far enough this way, so if there's a second relay here for the overdrive, it can still go without interfering with the windshield wiper motor. So that's done. I welded here, I welded here, welded those holes shut. I think these holes were extra here, because I think these are the holes for the windshield fluid canister, and this is for the electrical, for the wires for the motor, for the windshield fluid, and then for the hose. I don't know about this one and this one, but if I need them, I can drill them again. I welded this as well, and what else? I welded a little bit there because I noticed it wasn't welded properly, and here, so I have to grind this again. The only thing is now here, this stud actually had a head on the other side which is flat, so this is in the wheel well, and you see the head of this bolt on the other side, or stud. So I'm just gonna drill a hole here, and I'm gonna thread it, and I'm gonna run another bolt, and then I'm gonna cut the head off, and I'm gonna weld it flat again, and that's how it's gonna stay there. Well, it's not exactly in the center, but it's good enough. So now we can cut this flush. The hole is under it, so we can cut it flush and run another bolt there. All right, so I tapped the hole, and now we can run this bolt here, but I'm not gonna go all the way because now I want to cut the head like this. It's hot. It's hot. Okay. I want a little bit more. I want it a little bit deeper. Yeah, just like that. It just needs one tuck, you know, because to prevent it from spinning, but what's holding it there is actually the threads. So that's it. I'm gonna tuck it, and then we're gonna be ready to, well, actually just still need to grind whatever I welded just now, and then we're gonna start with the body filler. All right, it looks like original. And we have the stud inside. Just long enough, just like the other one, and that was it. And everything is ground down. Time to start with the body filler. Finally, even here there was a hole on the lip here. It was rotten somehow, so we welded that as well and ground it. And yeah, let's do some body filler. All right, so I applied body filler everywhere I thought it needed. Like in some areas it was just pitted, like here. I didn't make any repairs there, but it was a little bit pitted, so I wanted to smoothen it a little bit. And here too, you know, this is where we made the repairs, and these are all repairs there. So in some areas like there, it's so tight that I couldn't use applicator, and I used my finger as an applicator even here. So we will see now here too, that was all pitted. That's why I applied body filler there, not that I repaired it. Here too, this was pitted from spilled brake fluid, I guess. This area was all repaired by me, so now it's body fillered. Here, and the valance is not that important because it's inside, nobody's gonna see that, but still I wanted it to look a little bit better. These repairs on the buckets for the headlights, so apply it there too. That was pretty hard to apply, so I used my finger again. And this here where these wrinkles were from the factory, I just decided to apply a little bit of body filler there and smoothen it. I didn't do anything about this side, but this is actually pretty smooth. So that's it. Now we're gonna start sanding it. I guess you're not gonna be mad at me for not showing you the actual process. I'm just giving you updates, but it's pretty boring, right? All right, half of it is done. So this is all sanded, this is all sanded. That corner, I sanded it as much as I could. I think here it needs a little bit more body filler, but at the end, when I sand everything, I'm gonna come back and do a little bit here and there. The rest is pretty much okay. Down there, I don't care. I don't care about this much. I mean, it is as good as it could be. Tomorrow, because it's the end of the day today, tomorrow we're gonna continue with this side and we're gonna be done, I guess. And then we're gonna figure the next thing is gonna be this trim piece here. I think we're gonna adjust the actual piece to match this shape, and we're not gonna bother modifying the valance. So that's it for now. That was my end of the day update, but I guess tomorrow we're gonna keep going in this same video, so see you in a bit. All right, so it's the next day and this side is also done. I mean, I sanded whatever I did once, but now it looks like I'm gonna have to do one more time in some areas. For example, here I totally forgot about this, and down there, oh, my glove is there, and this down there. So I'm gonna put a little bit of body filler here now. Also this area I forgot, this whole thing all the way down, so I'm gonna have to add some body filler here too. And there's a little bit there in the corner, this right here, but other than that everything looks pretty good. All right, and these last few pieces here and there are done. They're in the corner, and yeah, so I could say now that the engine bay is complete and ready for primer. But before that, we're gonna weld the 3 tabs here. We're gonna adjust the piece, the trim piece, and we're gonna go and do also the bodywork in the trunk. You know, where we welded over there, we welded down there, we welded here. So we want to finish that bodywork too before we start with primers and stuff. so that's better. And now the only thing left is to make those 3 tabs that hold this in place. Okay. So I made these 3 tabs, and that's how I think I'm gonna do them. I'm gonna spot weld them here if I can reach. Yeah, I can reach, so I can spot weld them there. I'm gonna leave them longer, and then I'm gonna just I'm gonna shorten them after. Of the breaker on the last spot weld. So now we can see how much shorter they need to be. Okay, that looks good. That's weird. To be able to match the hose with the rear hose, I have to push the rear end down, which I think that was an issue on the other, on the 73 TR6, but it is what it is. Let me put the grill on and see. All right, so that's how it fits. I'm pretty happy now. Wow, it almost looks like a car. And with that, guys, we're gonna call it a video because we're done with the engine bay. So next, I actually already put some body filler in the boot because I was waiting for the paint to dry on the tabs, so I had to do something. But yeah, in the next video we're gonna continue with the boot and with probably the interior. Then we're gonna flip it to the side and we're gonna do the bottom. We will see what we're gonna do. But for this video, I think we're done anyways. Okay, guys, so thanks for watching, thanks for commenting and subscribing, and thanks for following, and thanks for all your nice comments, and thanks for being so supportive. I really enjoy your comments. I don't have time to respond to all of them. I'm really sorry, but I'm reading them all, and I really appreciate your positive feedback to my videos. So see you in the next one, guys. Bye.